Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are back looking at another um speech, another article by Dr. King. This one, not quite as long as the last one, is called "The Most Durable Power." So let's get into this. This excerpt is from a sermon King preached in Montgomery, Alabama, on the 6th of December, 1956. Just 7 days before the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against Alabama's bus segregation laws. Excuse me. Okay. Always be sure that you struggle with Christian methods and Christian weapons. Never succumb to the temptation of being bitter as you press on for justice. Be sure to move with dignity and discipline, using only the weapon of love. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. Always avoid violence. If you succumb to the temptation of using violence in your struggle, unborn generations will be the recipients of a long and desolate night of bitterness, and your chief legacy in the future will be an endless reign of meaningless chaos. In your struggle for justice, let your oppressor know that you are not attempting to defeat or humiliate him, or even to pay him back for injustices that he has heaped upon you. Let him know that you are merely seeking justice for him as well as yourself. Let him know that let him know that the festering sore of segregation debilitates the white man as well as the Negro. With this attitude, you will be able to keep your struggle on high Christian standards. Many persons will realize the urgency of seeking to eradicate the evil of segregation. There will be many Negroes who will devote their lives to the cause of freedom. There will be many white persons of goodwill and strong moral sensitivity who will dare to take a stand for justice. Honesty impels me to admit that such a stand will require willingness to suffer and sacrifice. So don't despair if you are condemned and persecuted for righteousness' sake. Whenever you take a stand for truth and justice, you are liable to scorn. Often you will be called an impractical idealist or a dangerous radical. Sometimes it might mean going to jail. If such is the case, you must honorably grace the jail with your presence. It might even mean physical death. But if physical death is the price that some must pay to free their children from a permanent life of psychological death, then nothing could be more Christian. I will believe that standing up for the truth of God is the greater thing in the world. This is the end of life. The end of life is not to be happy. The end of life is to achieve pleasure and avoid pain. The end of life is to do the will of God, some may say. Or come what may. Sorry. I still believe that love is the most durable power in the world. Over the centuries, men have sought to discover the highest good. This has been the chief quest of ethical philosophy. This is one of the big questions of Greek philosophy. The Epicureans and the Stoics sought to answer it. Plato and Aristotle sought to answer it. What is the summum honum of life? I think I have discovered the highest good. It is love. The principle stands at the center of the cosmos. As John says, God is love. He who loves is a participant in the being of God. He who hates does not know God. And again, this was directly from they said it was a speech given by Dr. King. Yeah, an excerpt from a sermon King preached in Montgomery, Alabama on the 6th of November, 1956, just days before the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against Alabama's bus segregation laws. And this, as well, was also printed in the magazine Christian Century, issue number 74. As well as the Christian Century Foundation, I guess, which was a shoot off of Christian Century magazine. But essentially, Dr. King is trying to make it known, do not try to show anger, vitriol, even though it seems like that is the only answer. All you can show is love. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes that really irks a person more than getting back angry. Because sometimes all you can do is, I love you too. And they will go, some of them will go crazy and angry and get angry over that kind of stuff. But yeah. I myself am not religious. In fact, I would consider myself an atheist. So, do I believe it's closer to God? Not necessarily. Is it a worthy technique? Yes, definitely. But yeah, the durable power of love. But as always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. If anyone tries to tell you something you have a little trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, later.